Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Shalom. All right, hey, we the brothers here from the Great Millstone Atlantic Camp, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Awashai with another lesson tonight. Lord willing, we do hope and pray that it's edifying. We want to give all praises, all glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakodash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, many blessings unto the elect. All right, we're going to get into it. It's going down over in the Middle East. It's been a lot of breaking news going on over there pretty much since the year started, which this year, coined by the elder apostle Tahar, is the year of the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And, since the year kicked off, man, it's been action-packed up until today, it's only, we could only, imagine what's in store for the next couple of days, weeks, and months. Today there was as you can see right here on the screen, it says Houthi rebels strike a U.S.-owned ship off the coast of Yemen in the Gulf of Aden, raises tension. So tension is being increased over in the Middle East, and that's Yahweh Bashim Shai mustering the host of the battle. Okay, because there's going to be a war of Armageddon. The word Armageddon goes into the mountain of truth, or the gathering of the mountain of troops. And that's going to take place, that war is going to take place over in the Middle East, around the Saudi Arabian Peninsula, Iran, Iraq, over in that Middle Eastern area. And we see the tension increasing, okay? And it's only going to intensify, man. It's an election year also, too, okay? So, they're projecting oil prices to increase. They're anticipating more terrorist attacks on American soil and American allied countries. So this is just the beginning of the war. Remember, the scriptures go into this is the beginning of sorrows. There shall be wars and rumors of wars, and these are the beginning of the sorrows, man. All right. So I just want to set the tone for the lesson. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it with this quick scripture, and we're just gonna let the spirit go in from there. All right. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
Yeah, and if you look at these different nations, what are they all doing? They're preparing war, which we always run into about the mass amount of financial, the massive amount of the financial budget of the United States as well as other countries being used towards war. Now, if you look at America, the federal budget, mass majority of it is towards war, man.
Yeah.
Warplanes and warships and tanks, the naval equipment, all these different things, to excite Navy bases, it's billions upon billions of dollars, and all that money is being even also funneled to Israel rather than even being used to its own American citizens, man.
Yep.
Billions of dollars, that's being lost within this so-called government, which really Esau, he plays a dirty and shady game, man. He'll lie to the masses of the people, and make it seem like they have their best interests at hand, when really they know they have a major war that has to be fought.
Yeah. Well, he's a fork-tongued devil.
He's a fork-tongued devil.
Yep. It says, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
And what location is that? That's throughout the Middle East. Scripture speak about in Joel, with the hinder part, which goes into pretty much what you have throughout the Middle East. That was the Arabian Peninsula. And they're speaking about the Red Sea. That's a lot of those choke points, military choke points. It's a lot of hell that's being pretty much created within that small region alone, man. And all these different nations, they're gonna partake. Which is pretty much a proxy war. You see the Houthi as well as various other Muslim factions that are in high condemnation from America, and really they're getting a lot of their weaponry pretty much sent to them through Russia. And then you have the enemy nations that they're actually fighting, Israel, which is pretty much a major ally to America. So the war of Armageddon is already being brewed through these different nations, man.
That's right. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. let the weak say, I am strong. That weak represents the weaker nations. Okay? Because you had certain countries years ago who were literally considered weak countries militarily. Okay? They didn't have, nuclear capability. But now, through technological enhancement, through, making deals with other nations, they've been able to get that technology up to par with America. So now they really considered strong nations when it comes down to their swords. Okay, verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. So we notice that the scriptures is talking about who? The heathen. The heathen nations. The heathen nations represent all the other nations outside of the nation of Israel. Okay, it says, and gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. This is what's going to bring the judgment of Babylon the Great, which is written all throughout the scriptures, the prophetic scriptures, from Genesis all the way down to the book of Revelations. The Bible's details vivid judgment to come upon a place called Babylon the Great. So that's what's getting ready to happen. But that valley of Yahweh Shaphat is just the beginning of that judgment that's to take place. Verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow with for their wickedness is great. Okay? Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decisions. Yep. Which, like the brother was going down into the Arabian Peninsula. Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman. Okay, you got UAE, Bahrain. Okay, you got Iraq right up in here. You got Iran on the other side of the Persian Gulf. Okay, you got what is this Pakistan right here. You got Afghanistan up here. Okay, all these countries sit in that area. Okay, that valley of the Lord's decision. And why do you think that the United States and Russia has military bases all throughout this region? Okay, so they're going to be able to ship their troops over here. Okay, the United States actually just bombed certain headquarters in Saudi Arabia due to the Houthi attacks. Okay, so we know that these nations are gathering. We know that during the Gaza invasion by Israel, China, Russia, Japan, all these other nations sent military ships over to the Persian Gulf. They sent aircraft carriers over to the Persian Gulf, man. All right, and down into the Arabian Sea. Okay, so this is heavy. This is serious stuff, man. This is prophetic things that are going on, man, in the scriptures. Okay, and I got another quick one, real quick.
I got an article.
I'm gonna bring this out, then you can get into the article. Zephaniah 3:8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations." And when you look up that word determination, it's synonymous with the word decision or judgment. That word determination in the Hebrew is mashapat. Okay? So the Lord is determined to bring about his will, which his will encompasses judgment on the other nations. Okay? So the scripture says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms. Notice it says kingdoms, plural. Okay, didn't we just read in the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, where it says multitudes in the valley of decisions? Well, doesn't the scripture just say right here? It reiterates it in the book of Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. It says he's going to assemble the kingdoms. So that's multitudes of kingdoms. Kingdoms is plural, not just one kingdom. So it's going to be a host of kingdoms in that region that's going to fight the battle of Armageddon.
And these different nations, see, they're tired of America. That's why they constantly have been condemning the actions of America as well as Israel. And they call America their great Satan. They call Israel little Satan. And it's pretty much being so treacherous that Israel and America are being not only somewhat condemning each other. I just read an article with Biden not in full agreement with Netanyahu, but you have European nations that's pretty much disgusted with the actions of Israel, man.
Absolutely. Primarily Spain, France, and Italy.
Yeah, so that everybody keeps speaking about October 7th, the tragedy that happened on October 7th. But you know how Esau does that. That could have been an inside job, man. Just for him to ignite, to play the victim, all right, the Houthi invaded, and the statements that was coming out that they was decapitating little babies, and there was a massive amount of kidnapping and destruction that pursued, the actions of the Houthis, and we just had to respond with great action, But see, this devil has been running amok all throughout the different, Middle Eastern regions, and these different nations, they already see the pattern, all right? This devil has a pattern, just like with the Native Americans, all right?
Right.
He's known as the old serpent, the devil, man.
Great Satan.
Great Satan. And like, which I even went into at camp, how these different nations, they have educational centers, man. They got schools and they learn Western curriculum and things of that nature. Now it's pretty much they learn the criteria of the West, and as they grow and educate themselves, throughout universities, and they become, whether in the military or in politics and things of that nature, they already see the pattern of America. That's why they're willing to go and take things so far, to either pay revenge or fight for freedom, or pretty much go to and fight America up front before they actually create an invasion throughout the different lands, because of the pattern that they done, man. That's these different nations pretty much being going back to the mighty men being woken up. They're not naive to the actions of America, man.
Mm-hmm.
But it's ultimately through the spirit and power of the Lord, because the scripture says in Proverbs, the 21st chapter, how the Lord works on the minds of these different kings.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
It says that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord is pissed off at these other nations. That's just straightforward and to the point. So just because the Lord is using these other nations to bring about judgment upon America doesn't negate for one fact that the Lord is pissed off at them as well. Okay? And it's zaham. That's the Hebrew word zaham. Okay? And it says anger or indignation. Mm-hmm. Now, it says strictly from froth at the mouth, fury, especially God's displeasure with sin.
Yep.
So the Lord has a grave displeasure with the sins that's being committed on the planet Earth by these other nations. So the Lord is going to pour out his fierce anger upon them.
Yep.
He's going to use America to fuck them up, and he's going to use them to fuck America up.
Yeah, see,
okay?
Most High really put the spirit on, the right nations to come against America, because it's going back to Genesis. The scriptures speak about how the Lord has made Ishmael a wild man. The Arab nations and as well as those Elamite nations, they really aren't in total fear of America.
Mm-hmm.
They're willing to give their lives for their country, and they know at the end of the day, America is a nation that's powerful indeed. They recognize the status of America on a worldwide stage, but they also know that this place is very, very demonic and evil, man.
That's right.
So they're willing to actually make treaties and do joint operations with either Russia and China, gain resources and access. As the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So even if it's different nations they pretty much aren't totally in agreement with, they know that they have a better interest on their side than, pretty much bowing down to such nations like America. They're not willing to bow down to America. They're not willing to give up their different land, because that's all he wants. He wants these different regions of those, whether it's Palestinians and Gaza, these different strips and banks, and regions and locations, so that he can have, more access to throughout the Middle East and really full control of the world, man.
Mm-hmm.
And these nations they're not going down without a fight, which that's the spirit of the Lord that's on these different nations to fight this war of Armageddon, because the Lord is all about a good fight, man.
Yeah, well, he's hardening the other nations' hearts, like he did in the time of Pharaoh. Just finishing it off, it says, "For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now so that means that there's going to be nuclear missiles dropping all over the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But in totality, the earth is not going to be destroyed, because remember the scripture says what? The earth abideth forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So there's certain untouched parts, there's certain lands that's not even inhabited on the planet Earth, in which Esau doesn't even have access to. But the inhabitable parts of the earth major strongholds are going to be bombed because the Lord's fiery jealousy is going to come down upon these other nations, man. So that's what we're seeing, brothers. When we look, brothers and sisters, when we look on global news outlets and different media websites, and we see, Middle Eastern tension and attacks. We're seeing the development of great biblical prophecy right before our eyes, man. Mm-hmm. And everybody should be in the spirit of being excited, faith being increased, locked in, watchful, doing the works of an evangelist, because it's happening right before us, man. But you got it, bro.
Yep. So, I was gonna make this statement because I was watching a video on Valuetainment, and it was in regards to an Arab and an American politician, and they were speaking. The Arab. His name was I think Bassem Youssef. He's like a comedian, but he's into politics. He makes some very good points. And one thing he was saying is how pretty much how wicked America is in so many words, because they'll push the spirit of security, and they just have a quarrel with the terrorists in these said locations. But he was saying that they use using what's this word? I looked it up. Carpet bombing, man. Which carpet bombing is pretty much just blowing everything out in different locations, without any type of indiscrimination, man. Killing children, killing civilians to get the certain terrorists, man. They're not striking these different terrorists down systematically. They're just dropping bombs, whether it's churches, which over there they have, pretty much mosques and, different Muslim worship centers. But they're killing the hell out of those, the quote-unquote innocent within that land. The ones that's not even partaking or of these different so-called terrorists,
and those are what's called crimes against humanity.
Crimes against humanity.
War crimes, man. Which that's why you have over 100 some odd countries who wants to bring Israel into the world court. For crimes against humanity. So the planet Earth is seeing who the devil is, man. Then the scripture says, how does the scripture go? The mystery of iniquity shall be revealed. And that's what we're seeing, man. Everybody is drawing the conclusion that America, Israel, UK, the EU, and NATO is the devil. And there's going to be more situations that's going to point to their devious ways, man. Okay? Because they're about to fuck a lot of these other nations over, man.
Yep.
And then it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna spill over, and it's gonna spill over to American soil, man. They're gonna stop attacking American soil in the Eastern world, where you may attack an embassy or a consulate or a military base or a ship, that's over there. They're gonna actually start bringing that smoke over here. They're gonna actually start trying to, take, the American cruise ships out. Motherfucker cruising in the Caribbean, boom. Got them a Disney cruise ship get smacked. Out of no damn well. Boom. Just, they killed fucking 30,000 Americans in the Caribbean Sea.
Yep.
Niggas, going up to Alaska. They're gonna start bringing that smoke over to American shores, man. And you already have what's called sleeper cells over here, man. Okay, well, the border is pretty much compromised. The southern border of America between Texas, California, and Mexico is pretty much breached. So they've been funneling all kind of sleeper cells over here, man. So this thing is getting ready to get exciting.
Yep.
What you got it, bro?
It says, this is on the end of the AmericanDream.com. It says, what do you call a war with China plus a war with Russia plus a colossal war in the Middle East? It says, do you see what we just bombed the Houthis? Each new day in 2024 seems to bring some sort of new escalation, and for now most Americans can ignore all of the fighting because it is all happening on the other side of the globe. But how are they going to feel when the U.S. is actively engaged in multiple wars simultaneously, and those wars are directly affecting daily life inside the U.S.? The time to speak out against the foolish policies of our leaders is before the entire world is engulfed in flames. Once thousands of missiles start flying, it will be too late. Most Americans don't realize this, but this weekend Taiwan will hold an election which may determine whether the U.S. and China go to war
In fact, China has clearly framed this election as a choice between war and peace. I'm going to jump a little bit. We shall see what happens, but the candidate that has been leading in polls is the candidate China hates the most. Yeah, which that's a major thing too. China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
You know, so these different nations are locking horns, and these different wars that's going to let off is going to inspire a lot of control, man. You know, which we of course know as the War of Armageddon, World War III. You know, but it says, and the moment that China invades Taiwan, the U.S. and China will be at war. Yep, which that's another war in itself between United States and another superpower.
Yeah, that's why the scripture says there shall be wars and rumors of wars.
Yep, and America's going to stretch themselves thin, just like Rome stretched itself thin. That was another way that Rome stretched itself thin, not only through its finances and its currency, but through war.
Yeah, sticking their nose in everybody got their business.
Stretching the military too thin, man. You know, the military can only run so far, you know, and they have to exhaust all this money over here to get, you know, whether it's provisions for their troops, certain equipment restoration and things of that nature, fuel, you know, all these different things have to be supplied, you know, to American troops, foreign troops, which you have foreign aid and things of that nature. All these things are going to be pushed out of the budget, and see, America is stripping all this money through taxpayers, man. You know, what she's really trying to get himself to, and he's not having a choice, but he's raising the prices, which we just spoke about, how the oil prices, you know, as well as gas prices are going to go up. Food prices are already going up, but they're going to go up some more.
Absolutely.
You know, it's going to make it where your daily, your daily provisions to sustain are going to become more difficult. All right, which all these different food prices going up, like Apostle Hart has spoke about, that's pretty much hitting inflation, man.
Yeah, come.
You know, and it goes from inflation to hyperinflation. You know,
and hyperinflation leads to a crash.
Yep.
But see, we're entering into a collapse. We're not even entering into a crash. Okay, because a crash can be rebuilt. A collapse, you know, there's going to be a new system that's going to come out of this. There's going to be a new way of life, man. A new way of interacting with society, man. In this coming collapse. Okay, so we coming into that time, man. You know, they gotta alleviate all of this spending and put more money into this war. So this war is increasing. That means that eventually they're going to have to collapse the society. Okay? I got a quick one real quick. This is Isaiah 13:4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains. There's that word multitude again, man. Okay? So we know that these current events were already prophesied prior to these things going down, man. Because these words are being used by different prophets. Now, this is the prophet Isaiah. So did Zephaniah use it. Joel used it. The word multitude, man. So it's a multitude of armies that, hey, man, right now, these nations right now, as we speak, are getting their military men together. They fueling up their fleet. They shipping everything over. China they in talks. Everybody right now is in talks of how they gonna get their military over to the Middle East.
Yeah, and a lot of these different countries that's already war torn, they want to repay America, man.
Yeah, they want revenge.
You know, the education is shitty. You know, the unemployment is through the roof. You know, all the money they have, pretty much just already war zones, man. You know, so they're gonna actually use the war power that they actually have to fund allied so-called terrorist nations, man. You know, which some of them are, you know, actually terrorists, but not only are the terrorist nations that have a strong resentment for America gonna attack this place, you know, through Israel in particular, you know, but you're gonna have these different bigger nations, man, you know, from Iran all the way up to the main guy, which is Russia and China.
That's right.
Or the main guys, Russia and China.
In America.
Yeah, in America.
That's right. Them the big dogs, man. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people.
Which mountains represents governments.
It represents governments. Yep. It says like as of a great people. Okay. So that's going into the sound of those missiles. When you read Joel the 2nd chapter, it speaks about, it likens them as a nation of people. So their faces were black. Okay, it says a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Okay, so it's going to go down in that Middle East, pursuant to the book of 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter also, man. Okay, the Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. So it's Yahweh Bashim Shai who's guiding and directing the minds of the rulers of these other nations to crank this war up, man. The time is now. Okay, it ain't even a thing of saying that the time is near. The time ain't even near no more. The time is now. Now this is the word for mustereth in the Hebrew. That Hebrew word there is paquad. All right, and the definition is to attend to, muster, number, reckon, visit, punish, appoint. The Lord has appointed these other nations to come together and fight this war.
Yep. I got a quick point going to that. This is in the same article, but it's a quick passage. It says, let me see if I want to read this exact spot. Yeah. Today, in my direction, U.S. military forces, together with the United Kingdom and with support from Australia, Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands, successfully conducted strikes against a number of targets in Yemen used by Houthi rebels to endanger freedom of navigation in one of the world's most vital waterways, President Joe Biden said late Thursday. In addition to being at war with Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria, now we are essentially at war with the Houthis.
See that? So notice it said Bahrain. Bahrain is one of those countries that sit in the Middle East. So you have certain countries over there who's on America's side, like Saudi Arabia, Syria, I believe, UAE.
And the Saudis are going to end up turning on.
But they gonna turn.
They're already turning. Yep.
They gonna turn, man. You know, then you got Bahrain.
Bahrain, yep.
You know, Bahrain. They said Bahrain just did it with America. So guess what? Them little countries like that don't get the shit blown out of them. Bahrain is a small country. Let's pull it up. Look at Bahrain. They just made themselves vulnerable. Bahrain is just right here. This little island. They gonna get this shit blown out of them, man.
Yep.
Okay? So this is getting ready. You got Qatar right here. Okay? This is getting ready to spill over, man.
Yep, and it said the Bahrain, small Arab state situated in a bay on the southwestern coast of the Persian Gulf.
Look at that.
That Persian Gulf, that's a hot point.
It's a hot point, baby.
And they in the heat. They in the that ring of fire.
And they got the nerve to issue out some strikes. All right, you know, it's getting ready to. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised they go ahead and start annihilating certain of these small countries. Just go ahead and just wipe them out, man. Okay, but it says verse 5. It says I'm gonna read this part again real quick. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. So the Lord is gathering, appointing, and bringing together all of these other nations. Verse 5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons. Okay, not volcanoes like a nigga we know would say. Okay, a crime mob nigga that we used to know. Okay, he believed that the fire and brimstone is going to be through volcano eruptions. Well, the scriptures right here says the weapons. So a weapon is something that's created by a person to inflict harm and danger on another person for that particular purpose. Okay? It says, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Okay? So we here. We at that time, man. Where the day of the Lord is getting ready to come about on the planet Earth, man. Okay? You had something, bro?
Yeah, I wanted to get the value of this.
Come on, I'll get this real quick while you get that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and 2. It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. Okay? That's why the scriptures also reference Yahweh Bashim Shai as the Lord of hosts. The word host means armies. So the Lord's army, his indignation is going to be upon all of the carnal armies on the planet Earth. Okay? Japan, Russia, China, America, the UK. The Lord is not in favor of none of these armies. His indignation is upon all nations, but he's going to use them to bring about the final destruction, and then after that, his wrath is going to be kindled on these other nations. You know, and he's going to bring some serious judgment, slavery. The judgment that's going to come after the missiles is going to exceed. Might exceed the missiles. Because the Lord is going to get down on you other nations, man. It's just start. The missiles is just, the Lord is just getting started with you with that. Okay? You got it, bro.
Yeah, this is Joel 3:13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. 14. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision.
Hey, that's the spirit. We brought it out again. Okay, the Lord had it come out twice. The word multitudes, multitudes, just so you could understand there's going to be multitudes of people. Remember the scriptures tell you in the book of 2nd Ezra the 13th, Ezra, the prophet Ezra said he seen an innumerable amount of people that came to fight against the Lord. Okay, go ahead, bro.
That was really the main.
Well, you can just finish it out.
That was 3 and
14.
14, yep. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
Yep.
The sun and moon shall be darkened.
Which that represents what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? You people, the scripture says there shall be a crying for wine in the streets. You're not going to know, you're not going to get the answers then, man, because the answers are being made publicly known now. But there's going to come upon a time where the scriptures reference it as called the famine of the word. So you're not going to get these type of answers when all hell break loose, man. The internet going to be shut down. Videos like this is going to be restricted. Okay, they're going to clip all these different YouTube videos. You're going to have limited access to the internet like they do in China. So the sun and the moon is going to be darkened. Go ahead.
And the stars shall withdraw their shine.
Got it.
The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Yeah, so even when all hell breaks loose, the Lord is still going to put us under that spiritual refuge, man. You know, that's why the scripture says, fear not thou worm Jacob.
Yep.
You know, even though all hell is going to break loose, when you go to the previous wars that took place, World War I, World War II, that was an immense amount of casualties. And this war is going to be the war to end all wars, man.
That's right, bro.
You know, these different nations are definitely going to exhaust all their, pretty much exhaust the caches, man. You know, all the inventory that they have lined up, you know, all the money that they put into their weaponry, they're going to exhaust that in a nuclear exchange, man. You know, America, Israel, like we just said, Russia and China, they're going to take this war and they're going to pretty much give it all they got, you know. And that's why when the smoke clears, it's not going to be an Arab nation on top. It's not going to be a Moabite or a Chinese, the Chinese on top. It's not going to be the Japanese on top.
Yep, the white man is going to fall tremendously.
It's not going to be the Edomites that's going to stand after the smoke actually, pretty much descends. Who's going to be on top is Yahushua and the men that's going to be joint heirs unto him, man. You know, because even in this war, the Lord is going to fight too. Yeah. So you speak about how he's going to defend his people. You know, matter of fact. Get that.
So he shall defend Jerusalem.
Yep.
Where you going, Jeremiah 31? As birds flying, so shall he.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see. 31.
Yeah, Isaiah 31:5. I got it right here.
Okay.
It says, as birds, Isaiah 31:5, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also he will deliver it, and passing over he will preserve it. Yeah, so like I said, we don't have anything to fear, man. That's why we encourage this type of destruction to come upon the face of the earth, man. You know, the immense amount of casualties and things that's going to take place. We all know that, like the scripture speak about in Ezra's, how this kingdom has to be overturned for the kingdom of heaven to arise, man.
So if the evil root that was sown is not uprooted, then how can the good seed that is to come be planted? So you know how the scripture says it's a time to reap and a time to sow? Well, we in the time of both. We in the time of the Lord reaping the wickedness and sowing the righteous in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And we also in the time of the Lord uprooting. Okay, like the scriptures tell you in the book of Jeremiah, the 1st chapter. As a matter of fact, let me get it real quick. In the book of Jeremiah, because that's what we're doing also in the spirit. We're uprooting as well. This is Jeremiah 1:10. It says, "See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over kingdoms to root out." So us speaking about these things is actually causing these other nations to move according to the words that we speak, because we're the prophets of the Lord. Yep. So we have to speak these things prior for them to come to pass. So once we speak these things, the Spirit actually make these other nations move according to the words that we speak. So we're telling them that they're going to be rooted out of the earth. The Lord's going to pull them out the earth, man.
Yep, and it has to be through the hand of the Lord.
That's right.
Because the Lord is the same power that established.
That's right.
You know, just like seeds that's or a tree, you know, everything starts with the root systems, all right? It gets planted in a certain bank or location, you know, and then it germinates and then it grows and then, you know, pretty much it's established, which the word established means what? Made stable, you know. But for it to be, you know, ripped apart, I'll just say, or taken out of its said location, it has to be what? Pulled up from the root.
And you need an actual person to come and pull that up. That's why you have what's called what? The husbandman, man.
Yeah. Okay?
So the Lord is going to be the one to pull this place up by his hands. Okay? Well, his left and right hand is going to actually do the pulling.
The thrones were cast down.
The thrones were cast down. That's right. It says, so it says, "See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out and to pull down and to destroy and throw down, to build and to plant."
Yep. We just spoke about the throne being cast down, pulled down.
To destroy. Throw down. Build and plant.
Yeah, I would have said that although he shall, it speaks about it, Esau, though he build, the Lord will...
Yep. Say, "I will return and rebuild the impoverished places."
Yep.
He said, "Thus shalt thou say, I will build, but the Lord shall throw it down." That's in the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter, man. You know, so we in the time of Esau, you already done built the shit up, man. Here you go now, coming with another, you know, business venture, artificial intelligence, you know, implantations and all that old extracurricular shit. You know, niggas is tired of you, bro. You know, these other nations don't even want you to get your shit off the ground, honestly. We know that through a space of time, a distance of time, the Lord is going to allow you to push and promote your new world order just for a distance of time. But the Lord is going to stop. The scripture said, "I will disappoint the devices of the crafty." So you ain't going to get this off the ground like you think, man. Okay? Yeah, there's going to be a time of tribulation that's going to hit, but it ain't going to be to the point to where you're going to fulfill your plans and your intentions. Because the Lord is going to stop you short. You coming up out the ground, baby. You being rooted out of the earth. These other nations ain't playing with you, man. You think just because they be really, man, they really trying to be like, "Hey, man, just chill out, man." But no, you want to keep taking shit further and further and further. Well, they're going to be like, "No, man, fuck it, man. Just load it up, man. Let's get this thing together, man. Let's show this man what's up, man. Let's everybody, man. Let's be on this. Let's get it." And that's going to be the spirit that the Lord's going to put on them. Because you're going to make a serious move real soon. These other nations are going to be fed up. And it's going to boil over, man. Okay? But you got it, bro. You can close on whatever you got to.
Okay, this is Psalms 37:1. It says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity." Verse 2. "For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither away as the green herb." Yeah, so even when you look at America... You know, even here in America, they look at, or they consider whites to be the majority. Now, individually, per nation, they are the majority. But if you really want to calculate us as blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are truly the majority.
Yep.
You know?
And not to mention the foreigners, Israelite foreigners.
You know? But individualized, you know, Esau... You know, he has spread himself, like Scripture says, he has spread himself forth.
Like a green bay tree.
Like a green bay tree. You know, these devils are in all kind of states and cities that mass majority of you Negroes ain't located, man. You know, Jake, you know, we pretty much hug a lot of the East Coast.
Right.
You know, Southeast region and things of that nature.
You get up into that heartland, Missouri, Kansas, Montana,
Yep.
Utah, Colorado,
Wyoming.
Yeah. Who's from there?
Yeah.
You know, Wyoming. You got Idaho, Wisconsin. You know, you got niggas up there, but they on a small little sector.
Little cusp, yeah. Little pocket, man.
Yeah, you niggas is pipsqueaks on that side, man.
Yeah.
You know, so Esau, yeah, like the brother said, these devils really got a stronghold out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember, you had a baby boom back in the 20s. They was depopulating Jake back during the slave times. They only wanted a certain amount of slaves, you know, to be present. So, you know, you got to look at it in terms of, man, you know, this devil has pretty much put himself in a position to rule up until the time where the Lord is going to pull him out of this seat, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we've approached that time. So, brothers, man, put your spiritual seatbelt on. Brothers and sisters, put your spiritual seatbelts on and get ready for the ride, because it's getting ready to get exciting these next couple weeks to months. You had anything else, bro? Yeah, you can close it.
Yeah, so with that, you know, hopefully brothers and a few sisters are edified. We're going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to the apostle and others great millstone. Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.